Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this laptop. This is called VOCBook 16. The name of the company is OTVOC. It comes with the really cool CPU, and on top of that it comes with 16 gigabyte of RAM, 1 terabyte internal storage, and more. And I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. Make sure you click the notification icon, select all, in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We love to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. In here are all the components that are part of the box. It comes with this user manual, which is really nicely written. And in the front, you have the name and also the model number in the bottom of it. And once you go to it, it has a table of content. Now, when you want to go through this, it has a lot of things and very detailed, so that way you're never going to get stuck. And all of the questions that you have will be answered inside of this manual itself, even the connection, how you will be able to connect, and on top of that, how you can emergency shutdown if you need it, using the touchpad itself, which are to cover most of them here, and also how you will be able to turn on and off the Wi-Fi. Now, going inside of it, there's a lot of things about hotkeys and more about connecting wireless network. And when you go to the back of it, you have warranty information. Now, the one that I got, it also came with this little nice card. It does indicate that free 2 years of warranty extension, and once you go to the back of it, it tells you exactly what you need to do in order to process and get that 2 years. It also comes with this connector. Now, this is created for Canada and United States, and this part will go to the actual power brick, and the power brick itself is right over here, so it is not really bulky or big. It's very small. I really like it how this has been designed. This is the one that goes to the actual laptop, but this part is the one that will be connecting to the extension, which is right over here. So there, as you can see, that there's 3 prongs over here and there's 3 connectors, so you have to connect it, and that's it. And now you will be able to connect this to the electricity, saying that this is 12 volt 3 milliamps, so this way you will be able to power up your laptop. Here's the big moment, the laptop itself sitting inside of a little plastic so it doesn't get scratched up till it gets to you. And this, how nice it is when you take it out. I really like that, how thin this is. Now going around, you can see the front part of it, and the way that they have named it is this way, so it is engraved. I really like that part. Now going to the back part of it, you can see the hinge, how this has been created, and we will talk about that a little more. Now going on the other side of it, you have more connections on this side. Once you go to the front, you have nothing but just a little part to open. And when you go to this part of it, you have more connections. I really like that how they have designed the RJ45 or network portion of it. And then once you go to the bottom part of it, you have a lot of holes for ventilation. And then you have 2 little parts on each side for speaker. We will test that out too, how good it is or how not good it is. And then you have the rubber legs in the bottom, and also a big one right in the back. So this way, when you put it on the actual table and you want to move it, it moves, but it doesn't move that much. You can see that I'm really pushing and really struggling to push it in order to be able to push. But this is how it is. And then once you open it, this is how nice it is. I really like how this has been designed. I really like how everything has been set up on this. So let's just take some shots and show you the keys and all that, how this has been set up, and we can talk about it. And then we will go back into the screen to show you how that part is done. One side of it, and you want to open, this is how flat you will be able to open it without damaging the actual screen. So you can see that I'm pushing, and this side comes up. So when you push it, you can see that. But again, it's really nicely done. So this way you do not have to damage your screen if you have to put it somewhere flat, and it will work for you perfectly. So on this side of it, you can see, and that's a TF card reader. That means micro SD. And then you have 2 USB ports. And then you have a LAN connection. And you also have an audio jack, so this way you can hook up a headphones or a speaker to it. Now on this side you also have a little ADC connection, and then you have the USB Type-C connector. You have an HDMI out. Also you have a USB 3.0 and then a little lock. So this way you will be able to use it. Now when you look on the hinge on this side, it looks really nice. Now the touchpad itself is really big, so that way easier to access and play with 2 fingers or just one. You will be able to process. Now for the keyboard itself, it's a full keyboard, as you can see, with the numbers on the side. And once you look on the top part of it, you have more functions, with more functions sitting on the top to make it very easy for you to follow and play with. The ones that are blue is going to work with the function key, so this way you will be able to process it easily. Now enough said about it, let's turn it on. As soon as it comes on, you will see the name showing up. And yes, this is the very first time that we're going to boot in. And here you go, this is how it looks when you're first time turning it on. So I'm going to set it up and then we will carry on from there. Now I really like how the edges are made. It's a little bit dimmered side unless you're looking at it right straight, so it looks really good. If you really pay attention, right on the top middle part, you do have a webcam. Now good part is that you have a little slider, so that way it totally blocks. So you do not have to buy anything extra, so that way you can block this. You just have to slide and it will be blocked. Again, the edges are made really nicely. As you can see, it is not really dim. You have to make sure that when you are playing with it, you can dim it down, or you can make it go a little bit light. Mine is right now, it looks like on 100%. So you have to remember down on how this screen is really made. So it is not something that will be really vibrant just like a regular computer monitor. This is a monitor, but it is to an extent. You have to remember that with a camera, they will show some pixelization and you're going to see some lines going around. But you have to understand that that's normal because this is a laptop. So it is not a desktop. It will be a little bit different. But again, it looks really cool the way that it has been set up. In order to turn on the Wi-Fi, you have to press function and then the Wi-Fi button, which is going to be F1. So you have to hold it and press. You can see that there is a little airplane. So you can click on that and now you have more options. So in order to turn it on, press that function key with the Wi-Fi, and now it is off. So now we can go to our Wi-Fi, click on it, and the names should populate for you. So click on here and now you can see all the names of Wi-Fi coming up. You can click and connect to one of them. Once you get to the part that it will ask you for Wi-Fi name, now this is, again, that's not my Wi-Fi, so I will connect to mine, but when you get to the part, you have to use the keyboard in order to type your Wi-Fi. So in this part of the video, we will test the sound, that how it really sounds. Now remember that usually when you're hearing some music, it should have some bass to it. Now that also goes with our voice. So that's why we are on our own channel. And the latest video that we have, we're going to select it and we're going to play with it to see exactly how it sounds. Yeah, it's a little bit in a lower bass, does not have much bass. So if I have to hold my hands around. 3:30, and this is done by a company called Ever Media. And yes, they are phenomenal when it comes to these type of new gadgets. Now remember that the volume is not really high, so let's just go to the volume and then we can bring it up. On a network drive, which is going to be NAS. You can also live stream directly from this to YouTube, and everything is inside. And do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. Make sure you click the notification icon, select all, in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, you can see that you can go to settings and change certain parts of it, so this way you can get a better sound. Now you have to understand that you can see the bits for the sound quality itself. Let's put it on the highest possible and we're going to bring it up. The box. It comes with a user manual. It still doesn't have that much of bass. A lot of pages because it comes with different types. See, it sounds good when you're trying to test. Now this is under regular sound test. So let's just pause this for a second. So again, for sound, if you do have a speaker that would be a lot better to play with. Let me try to demonstrate that for you. So I have huge speakers, which is going to my regular computer, and this is for secondary computer that I have. So whenever I wanted to change, I do a video that how I'm able to switch between computers in order for the sound to go to the actual place. And here's the video, and let's just play on it. You see that? Now you have a little pop-up in the bottom right over here. We have to change it to here and go to headset and say OK. Type of connectors that comes with it. Now it changed totally. It sounds a lot better now. So again, if you do want to just regularly want to listen directly from this, it's not bad, but I do suggest that if you get a speaker for it, would be better. It doesn't matter if it's wired or going to be Bluetooth, would work a lot better than you just playing it on the actual laptop itself. So now I hooked up my HDMI. This is for my capture card, and we will go full screen and talk about more about the actual PC in this case. All right, so now let's check a few things on this computer. Number one, I have to mention is that you have these black lines on the side, which I'm just going to put some little animation around it so that way it looks perfect. But this is the actual size for the screen itself. So if I have to just minimize the screen right now, this is the main screen. If I have to right click, there you go. And then we go to display settings. Over here, you should be able to see a few things. Number one is your brightness. Yes, if you're using laptop and you don't want to lose a lot of battery, you can change this a little bit dimmer, and this way it will really help you out to process. And also you have a night light and you want to use HDR or not, this is also going to really help you out. Again, for me, I'm just going to leave it as default for this video, but once you go down, you will make sense to you what's going on. And here you go, it says 125%, and it is connected as 1080p. You can see that you can change it to different ones. It is a little bit different, but if I have to change it, and then on the actual screen, you will see a black line on the top and the bottom like this right now. That what's happening right away in the bottom and on the top, because it's going to be just widescreen. Again, this is how we want it. But again, it's your discretion on which one you're going to select. So this is the recommended one for the actual screen. So that way it's full screen and you're going to really like it that way. So that's perfect. But you can also change this to 100%. It will be a little bit smaller, which makes a lot of sense. So this way you can see things a lot better. This is Windows 11, by the way, so you have to have things differently, and your graphics card's always going to be as default because there's no other way that you can upgrade it with this computer. So that's another thing. So this is one part. The next thing we want to go to will be CPU-Z, which will give you a lot of information about your computer itself. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit to it so this way we can see this. For that, we will go back into our display settings. And then over here, if you scroll down, you will see that it says this is 100%. So let's just change it to 150%. This way we can check this out. And there you go. So this is a lot better. And now we can read things. You can even make it bigger if you need. So there you go. So the main processor on this is N95, which is a Celeron processor, by the way. It's called Alder Lake is the name of it. And the socket on this is 1744. And everything else is in the bottom, what you need to see. So the CPU clock is over here. You can see that it is changing. And there is the cache. Everything is actually sitting bottom for you. So now when you go to motherboard, they are using the ADH motherboard. Again, this is something that is created by these guys, so they can name it anything they want. You can see that it's called VOCBook or VOCBook, and it's 16 because it's a 16-inch monitor, which is perfect. And going next, you have the PCIe slot, which is 3.0, which is really good. Again, you can see the BIOS is done by American Megatrons. These guys are phenomenal. They're doing a lot of things for a very long time. When you go to memory right now, it does say that it is 16 gigabyte, but it doesn't say who made it. But when you go over here, you can see that Micron created, and it is lower power DDR5, which is 16. So I guess it is up to 4. And if I go to 5, you can see it disappeared. So there are 4 slots of 4 gigabyte each inside of this laptop in order to make this work as 16 gigabyte. and there is nothing else, just serial number over here. When you go to graphics card, it is running Intel UHD graphics card, and it is a single core processor according to what I see, and you can see that it is clocked on 850 megahertz. It is DDR4. Again, it's not bad when you are playing with this laptop itself, and you can see it's current, so let's just keep it there. And when you go to benchmark, we can benchmark it again. It is not that bad if you want to use this for regular daily homework and more. And if you just wanted to go to your Windows and your Excel and Words and all, it works phenomenal. But if you want to do video editing, no, this is not what you need, because of the CPU itself, and the GPU is not bad if you want to get this for your, say, high school, for your college, or even university, and you just want to do your daily work. Just watch some videos, listen to some music, put your headphones on to this. This will work perfectly for you. Again, it is really cool on your price, and on top of that, you're going to carry something that a lot of people do like to carry, which is going to be Intel Pentium. So this will really work out for you. Now, if you do want to play more along the line of saying Bluetooth and all, it does connect. You can connect two devices at the same time, and it will work perfectly for you. Now, for the next part, what we have done is we brought up the actual camera to show you that yes, it works perfectly. So there are some little settings. Now, this is the default app that they have inside of the Windows. So you can check that you're not only going to just take a snapshot or a regular picture. This is an actual video that we are capturing right now. We can also go to get pictures, and you can see that automatically just switches, and you can click and it just takes a picture. And also, if you want to scan some barcodes, so automatically goes to that website, you can also process that, which is really good again. So going next is the actual camera, and just to demonstrate and to show you that this is live, and yes, we are processing and going back and forth. It is a little bit away. So since we're not going to capture our own face, this is really cool to have little parts, and we are able to play with them. And here you go. This is how it really looks. So if I have to move the camera right or left, you can see that it does work. But the quality is not going to be very high, like 4K. This is going to be 1080p perfectly, and it will show for you nicely into it. So now if I have to grab the actual part, and I want to go to the camera itself and show you what type of quality we got, this is how it really looks. And then if you want to switch from one to another, this is how easily you will be able to process, and then clicking play. This is an actual video that we are capturing right now. It plays it really nicely. So this way you know that, okay, this will really work for you. Now, that's about it for the actual camera. All the links will be available at the bottom of the video where you can order this from, except that this was our take. I hope you guys like our video. If you do like it, click the like button, subscribe button on the top, comment in the bottom. Always remember to visit our own website, which is xctex.info. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places, and thank you.